Lin Daiyu and the Qing in Story of the Stone. One of the most important pieces of Chinese literature is Cao Ting's Story of the Stone. Story of the Stone follows the Jia household as it progresses from having wealth and the respect of the emperor to losing its fortune and high standing, with several members of the Jia family coming to a tragic end. In Story of the Stone, Cao Ting uses the Chinese Qin as a representation of the character Lin Daiyu, to show the connection she shares with the love interest Jia Baoyu and to foreshadow Daiyu's eventual fate. Lin Daiyu was taken in by the Jia family following the death of her mother. Over the course of the novel, she falls in love with Jia Baoyu, the male heir to the Jia household. Their relationship is complicated, however, by the fact that the rest of the family does not see her as the proper person to stand at Baoyu's side, despite the love that Daiyu and Baoyu share. The Chinese qin is one of the oldest instruments in the world, with some legends claiming it was invented over 4,000 years ago. Not until the Book of Songs in the 6th century BCE was the instrument given the name qin, or stringed instrument. The scene in the novel that best exemplifies Daiyu's character, relationship, and future through the qin takes place in chapter 87. Baoyu and the Buddhist nun Adamantina accidentally happen across Daiyu playing the qin in the prospect garden. While they listen to her play, one of the tin strings suddenly snaps. "That must be the end of the 3rd stanza," said Adamantina. "How tragic it is." "I don't know anything about music," said Baoyu, "but just from the way she sang, I found it terribly sad." There was another pause, and they heard Daiyu tuning her qin. "The tonic B flat of hers is too sharp for the scale," commented Adamantina. As she listened, Adamantina grew pale with horror. "Just listen to the way she suddenly uses a sharpened fourth there. Her intonation is enough to shatter bronze and stone. It's much too sharp." "What do you mean too sharp?" asked Baoyu. "It will never take the strain." As they were talking, they heard a sudden twang, and the tonic string snapped. The qin has been a kind of ritual instrument for centuries, as Taoism, Confucianism, and even Buddhism use it as a means of self-cultivation and meditation. It was also regarded as one of the 4 arts that the traditional Chinese scholar was expected to master, along with calligraphy, painting, and chess. Daiyu in the novel is a very spiritual person, as she is the human incarnation of the crimson pearl flower, a supernatural being. The bond that she shares with Jia Baoyu is also spiritual, as he is the human incarnation of the supernatural stone that helped the crimson pearl flower in the novel's mythos. Thus, it makes sense that a ritual instrument would be associated with Daiyu and connect her to Baoyu. Daiyu even has a small connection to the scholarly 4 arts, as a visitor once thought Daiyu's room was Baoyu's, literally the gentleman's study, until corrected. The tin instrument is often used as a symbol of emotion, due to both its name and the sounds that it makes. Its name, qin, is very close to the word Qing, which means emotions, and the music it produces is often associated to very human ways of expressing feelings. For instance, Joseph S. G. Lamb notes that in the Qin piece The Lament of Empress Chen, the music imitates crying and complaining. The acoustics of the qin meant that it was best played in small groups, leading him to also describe it as a symbol of intimacy and bonding, using the story of 2 great friends, Yu Bo Ya and Zhong Ziqi, as an example. Similarly, Lin Daiyu is one of the most expressive characters in the novel, and often composes gloomy, yet very beautiful poetry. Lin Daiyu is not the ideal Chinese woman. She is too expressive and sensitive. However, what the rest of the family considers flaws are either things Baoyu never notices or what he comes to love about Daiyu. Baoyu and Adamantina's contrasting reactions to Daiyu's playing, too, are very telling, and further show both Daiyu's relationship with Baoyu, through Baoyu, and hinting at her eventual death through Adamantina. Baoyu regarded Daiyu's music the same way he regarded Daiyu herself, with amazement and no acknowledgement to the flaws that others, in this case Adamantina, pointed out. After the qin string snaps, Adamantina leaves, discomforted. As a Buddhist nun listening to a Buddhist ritual instrument, Adamantina would certainly know that broken strings is an expression for the death of one's wife. Indeed, when Baoyu asks her why she is upset, she responds, "You will find out in time." Not long after the scene, Daiyu dies of tuberculosis and a broken heart right in the middle of Baoyu's wedding to another woman. Music, like poetry, is a way for people to express themselves and their emotions. However, music can reach an even deeper level than poetry and leave a stronger impact on an audience. Daiyu is a very expressive person who writes some of the best poetry in the novel. She is even represented by the incense clock in her lantern riddle in chapter 22, indicating how her emotions and passions metaphorically, and her disease literally, are burning her up from the inside out, As such, it is no surprise to see the emotional and tragic Daiyu playing the qin, the instrument that is symbolic of passion and intimacy, while watched by her love interest Bao Yu. Neither is it a surprise that Daiyu, who feels so deeply, puts far too much pressure on the fragile instrument and snaps the strings, foreshadowing her eventual fate.